Stop scrolling for a second. Think back to the first time a mobile game genuinely made you jump. Not just a startled flinch, but that deep, gut-wrenching spike of fear that had you locking your screen and burying your phone under a pillow. For years, your smartphone has been a silent portal to pure terror, hosting monsters, haunted houses, and relentless killers that cost you nothing but a few hours of sleep and sanity. Welcome to GameScore, and in this debut video, we're counting down the 7 horror games that most of us, as dedicated mobile gamers, have already played, regretted, and loved. Get ready to remember the nightmare. The first game on our list, coming in at number 7, is the viral nightmare, The Baby in Yellow. The game size is typically under 300 megabytes. As a babysitter, your simple job is to care for an infant, feed him, change him, and put him to bed. However, the seemingly innocent task quickly warps as the baby reveals himself to be an uncanny, demonic presence, breaking the laws of physics and turning the house into a sinister playground. This game is a masterpiece of modern, unsettling horror that perfectly exploits the anxiety of responsibility. The terror comes less from cheap jump scares and more from the constant, creeping realization that the baby is actively manipulating the environment. The focused chapters and simple mobile controls make it instantly accessible, yet the expertly crafted sound design and shifting reality are genuinely creepy. For its viral success and clever subversion of a mundane task, we're rating this gem a good and giving it a GameScore rating of 8.5 out of 10. A surprisingly deep dive into babysitting paranoia. The game at number 6 is the critically acclaimed puzzle platformer Limbo. Game size a very reasonable 100 to 140 megabytes. Its story is famously minimal and abstract. You control a nameless boy who awakens on the edge of hell, Limbo, and enters the hostile, monochromatic world in search of his missing sister. The game review is where this title truly shines. Limbo is a masterpiece of design, using its stark black and white visual style and ambient soundscape to create an atmosphere of constant foreboding. The core gameplay is built on trial and death, meaning you must fail, often in gruesome, shocking ways, to learn the solution to the organic, physics-based puzzles. Every environment, from the deep, dark forests to the grinding industrial factories, introduces entirely unique challenges, keeping the player constantly on their toes. While some may find the controls a tiny bit fiddly on a small touchscreen and the ending is highly ambiguous, the experience is profound and unforgettable. It's truly a work of art that feels perfect for mobile's pick-up and play format. We rate this one good, absolutely. Our channel gives Limbo a GameScore rating of 9.0 out of 10, an essential, perfectly moody experience.
Sprinting into the 5th spot is the highly effective, free-to-play jump scare machine, Eyes, the horror game. Game size, around 100 to 200 megabytes, depending on the version and device. The game's story is straightforward. You break into a spooky mansion or abandoned hospital or school to steal a set number of money bags. Your greedy objective is made infinitely more difficult by the fact that you are being hunted by various vengeful phantoms, most notably the menacing Kraseu. The game review highlights its pure, adrenaline-fueled gameplay. This title is a clear evolution of the collect-a-thon horror genre. The tension comes from a fantastic sound design, the rattling of furniture, the monster's eerie wail, all signaling that the chase is about to begin. The core mechanic involves finding mystical eye runes, which give you a brief, inverted vision glimpse through the monster's eyes, allowing you to frantically plan your escape. It's an accessible, tense experience, perfect for quick bursts of mobile terror, and its multiple maps and different monster options keep the scares fresh. We're calling this one good for being a staple of mobile horror. Our channel's rating for Eyes, the horror game, is 8.2 out of 10. a must-play for fans of hide-and-seek horror.
Bendy and the Ink Machine is a unique first-person puzzle-action horror game featuring a striking 1930s cartoon aesthetic. Its mobile size is sizable, clocking in at approximately 1.2 gigabytes for the full experience. The gripping story centers on Henry Stein, a former animator who returns to the abandoned Joey Drew studios after receiving a mysterious note, quickly finding himself trapped in a nightmarish, ink-soaked labyrinth where his old creations have been transformed into monstrous, corrupted beings by the titular Ink Machine. The game's mobile port successfully translates the unsettling dark atmosphere and clever environmental puzzles that made the PC version a hit, using its stark visual style and effective audio cues to create consistent tension. However, the experience is slightly hampered by touch controls that can feel clumsy, especially during frantic chase scenes, occasionally leading to frustrating deaths. The good points are its unparalleled art style, compelling narrative depth, and heavy atmosphere, while the bad points are the unresponsive mobile controls and minor optimization issues. We are giving Bendy and the Ink Machine Mobile a final channel rating of 8.5 out of 10.
Granny is a jump-scare-heavy, first-person survival horror game. Its mobile size is approximately 333 megabytes on iOS or around 100 to 300 megabytes on Android, depending on the device and version. The terrifying story is simple and visceral. You wake up trapped inside Granny's dilapidated, puzzle-filled house, and your objective is to find the necessary items and keys to escape through the heavily locked main door or the car in the basement, all while the titular murderous Granny stalks you relentlessly. The game excels at generating authentic tension through sound, as every dropped object or creaking floorboard alerts Granny to your exact location, forcing players into a tense, silent game of hide-and-seek. However, the visuals are quite rudimentary, and the core gameplay loop can become repetitive once you master the map and Granny's predictable movement patterns. The good points are its pure sound-based horror, simple yet effective jump scares, and intense atmosphere, while the bad points are the dated graphics and high difficulty level for newcomers. We are giving Granny Mobile a channel rating of 7.5 out of 10.
At number 2 on our list is Forgotten Memories Remastered, a game that immediately demands your attention with a hefty 3.9 gigabyte installation file. You step into the shoes of Detective Rose Hawkins, investigating a missing child and quickly finding yourself trapped in a terrifying, abandoned asylum. This game is a deliberate love letter to classic PS2-era survival horror, evident in its stunning remastered graphics, which feature dynamic lighting and shadows that enhance the atmosphere. However, it retains the harsh difficulty of its inspirations. Resource management is brutal, ammo is scarce, and the deliberate lack of a map combined with occasional clunky combat makes encounters extremely frustrating. If you are looking for that old-school sense of vulnerability and dread, this game delivers a full premium, no in-app purchases experience. Although its length is a bit short, we at GameScore give Forgotten Memories Remastered a solid 8 out of 10 for successfully bringing console-quality survival horror to mobile. Taking our number 1 spot is the masterpiece of dread, Alien Isolation. This is no lightweight mobile title. You'll need a whopping 11 gigabytes of storage just for the game files, with over 20 gigabytes recommended for the install. You play as Amanda Ripley, the daughter of Ellen Ripley, on a terrifying mission to the Sevastopol space station to find answers about your missing mother. What you find is a descent into pure survival horror, featuring a single, unkillable xenomorph whose dynamic AI learns and adapts to your every move. The mobile port, handled flawlessly by Feral Interactive, brings the stunning retro-futuristic visuals and unsettling sound design completely intact, delivering a full, uncompromising AAA experience. The good is that this is the complete console game with all DLC, running beautifully on powerful devices. The bad is that it's extremely demanding on your phone's resources, and the constant, draining paranoia can leave you utterly exhausted. For its perfect port quality, masterful tension, and being a true console experience on mobile, GameScore awards Alien Isolation a near-perfect 9.5 out of 10. Well, that brings us to the end of our list. We've journeyed through some truly dark and unforgettable mobile experiences, from the old-school survival horror of Forgotten Memories Remastered to the absolute suffocating terror of our #1 game, Alien Isolation. These titles prove that your mobile device isn't just for casual games. It's a legitimate platform for intense, console-quality psychological horror. Whether you're a seasoned horror fan or just looking for your next big scare, we highly recommend strapping on your headphones, turning off the lights, and diving into the dread these games offer. Thank you for watching. If you survived this countdown, be sure to drop a like on the video and let us know in the comments below. Which of these horror games scares you the most? We read every comment.